update of Avorion and some kind of neat things that they've added. I'll show you right now. Remember when I was making a turret, right, in this thing, one of the hassles was I'd have to dump cargo all the time. Well, now you can tell it not to pick it back up, and tell it what kinds to pick up, what kinds not to, and what kinds to pick up. They said there was some kind of a, they did something in here. I'm not too sure what they've done in here, but maybe they just spaced stuff out a bit more. Anyway, let's just do this anyway. There we go. Oh, he's starting to format this crap again. You see what I mean? Like, it used to fit by making this bigger. They're messing with this again so that I can't use that mod. Because what'll happen is if you go too far down here, now you won't be able to put things into there or put numbers on them. That's a bug. Well, I mean, it is and it isn't. But anyway, it's not a big one. What else have we seen? Any changes of? Just, oh, these little drop-down boxes you can set up by different types of torpedoes in each one. You could set it so that it only takes nuclear torpedoes, and then only stuff that goes in there will be in that tube. Don't think there's anything more here. Okay. Let's go into the build menu and see if there's anything funky in here. Okay. Alright. Okay. So, well, I haven't got around to compiling that video game yet. I had a lot of running around to do too, and I did, however, get back in here and run around a little, as you can see. Yep. The galaxy's a big place. Oh my lord. I figure by the end of this stream we'll have about a quarter of the galaxy mapped. Okay, let's have a look at these ships just to make sure. Alright. And we're looking for an equipment dock. Hold on a second here. Oh my god. Fall down one more time, I'm going to throw you across the room. Stay. Some back support. That's better. Always got to have some lumbar support. There we go. Okay. Now, where was I? Yes, flying around. Might as well get this one spot. Yeah, and one guy was complaining about how he came back to the game, and it's like so hard and blah blah blah. And see, this is why I was trying to tell you guys. Okay. If you're starting out in a game, expect it to be really tough, okay? This is not something that you just do what I'm doing right away, okay? you probably won't even be into. Let's put it this way: by the time you see some green minerals, right, which is naonite, the second type of material, it'll probably be about a week's worth of play. You know, 10 or 15, 20 hours. You know, and if you're smart, you make a ship that you can be really maneuverable, jump into a naonite area, do some quick mining, jump back, and then you can get shields for the first time, right? And nothing here. Okay. And I think we go this way. So how is everybody today? I hope you're doing well. So I was talking to some people there. It looks like some East Indians are going to buy the corner store little restaurant there. And from what I'm told, they're going to keep the same menu. And I don't know if they'll keep the same people there, but if they do, that'd be a good thing. Or at least keep Jeff anyway. Jeff is the one guy down there that he knows what he's doing. Anyhow, well, they all do, but, you know. Anyway, what was it? So yeah, there's that, and I guess they're gonna add a little bit of the East Indian cuisine too, which will be interesting too. Yeah. You never know. I'll have to stop in and see what it's like. You know, I've never even. There's a Japanese restaurant at the corner here, and all you can eat. I've never even been into it. You know, I mean, I haven't had any money for a while. It'll be interesting to put some coin in my pocket, and I can save up for this a better machine and go carry on and do more for everyone else, you know, and myself. I do. The main thing for me is just to save and do get a better machine where I can do more and enjoy more and bring you guys some better quality content. Well, not that this isn't that bad, but you know, could be better. Not bad on 8-year-old hardware. You know, like this is just the proof that if you know what you're doing, anybody could do it, right? Like almost anybody. I was talking to one guy. He's got a really high-end PC and he doesn't even know how to use it. He's kind of stuck using his PlayStation. I was like, I really should sit down with him one day as a favor to him and just show him a bunch of stuff, you know, just run him through it for a couple of days over and over and over and over until it's like, you know, it just sort of becomes second nature. Because with the specs he was telling me of his machine, jeez, he'd be able to play all kinds of games. There wouldn't be one he wouldn't be able to play, in fact, let's say. And the other thing I was saying, well, you know, I could buy it off you. Would you pay for it? And now it's how old? I'll tell you what. I'd do some kind of a deal with him anyway. We'd figure something out. You never know. That might be something. Like if he doesn't, you know, the thing is, it's always good to have one as even, and if you're a YouTuber and you have just a console, you really do need to go and get a PC anyway, okay, in the end, okay? Because there's just so much more that you're able to do for yourself. Unless you're one of those people that has lots of money and likes to throw it around and, you know, have other people do stuff for you. Because, and you know, you're only making $3 to $5 per 1,000 views. I mean, that's the point of, you know. That's why I tell you guys all these different things and keep you abreast of, you know, various things going on, because you never know. And just to give you a little thing, more people died or are at risk of dying from the flu than this corona thing. The problem is is in having another type of flu. You know, like another. You got the cold virus, you got the flu virus, and now you'll have this one. So they just don't want to have a third thing that goes around yearly or something, right? That's the whole point of it all, right? Like we've got 24 cases here, and they're all elderly people, right? Like a lot of the, I think 23 out of 24 of the people are elderly. And that's the thing, right? You're more at risk of anything when you're older. Okay, so the whole thing is to eat healthy, blah, 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 blah. You know, don't be eating rodents and bats and other things, okay, kids and adults. It's just not good. You don't know where them things have been. Right? That's part of maybe where it's come from, maybe not. Nobody knows yet. So, you know, blaming it on that is not necessarily true. Could have been anything. Could be. That's why places like YouTube and other places, you know, have put the kibosh on a lot of people trying to report things and say things and do things, right? It's because, you know, they had that one report last week where they came out and said, well, this thing looks an awful lot like the HIV virus, until some other scientists looked at what they had done and said, wait a minute here, you're not quite right. It has more similarities with a flu virus than it does the HIV virus. And then, you know, but you see the problem that a lot of people had with that statement from the mainstream scientists was, well, how come you're treating it with HIV drugs then? mm. Listen, man, this planet does not need an airborne AIDS virus. Now, you could do some research on these kinds of things, and what you're going to find out is something really, really scary. At least you think it is, and then it's not. Every species of cat on Earth has a variation of the HIV virus, okay? Except they're all immune to it, okay? Now you might want to think about that, how many cats and lions and whatnot are in Africa, and they say that that's where the thing came from. So somebody killed a lion that had a mutated version, ate some meat, maybe didn't cook it right, and go. That would be my guess, you know. And vice versa, there's other species of animals that have similar things, and if something mutated and a human ate it, it's a good chance. That's why they say that. Doesn't mean it's true. But anyway. Got everything done today. So I pay my internet bill tomorrow. Got all my other bills paid. And once I'm done this month, it's going to be sweet. I will be in such a nice, happy place. Finally. And you know, as soon as and you don't even tell anybody, you know, that you're going to be in a better place. It's almost like they can sense it from you, you know. Because suddenly more people want to be around, and they're like those kinds of people that just leech off you, right? You know, like, nope, go away, get lost. Name's Cupid, not stupid. Let's see. So I should be able to put about, after this month, about $400 a month away. So I am thinking, let's see, so you got March, all of March. Okay, so let's see, so you got April, May, June, July. So just the month right before my birthday in August. Yeah, that's kind of a good thing. So I'll have to ask this Banky Sharma there, what's a good, you know, dish to try out for East Indian cuisine there, and that might just shock the guy when I walk in there. That I'll ask him something, and we'll have a little chat about you know, what I might like as a food there. That, you know, I got no teeth, so that's another one. Yeah, casualty of whatever. Medicine, bad water, I don't know. I never had a cavity until I moved to Peterborough. It's just crazy. Just crazy. So, oh, I thought that was an equipment dock shit. Here I was sitting around here all this time. Okay, next place. Come on. Wow. So I wonder, when you're doing a faction thing, do you put certain weapons on them, or does it? I guess it would be dependent on the area that the faction spawns, what weapons go there. Beep. The Galactic Lala Clan. Is this something new? Looks weird. And there's no equipment docks. Okay. Give me some green dots here, people, so I can go somewhere. I don't see any up this way, eh? Okay. I saw a bunch up here. I guess they're not there anymore. So, this game is getting continual little minor bits of upgrades and other different things to make it more cool, more fun. Okay, so it's a wormhole. And now I see some green dots. Go to the green dots. Once I get to where I'm going, I will say hi to the chat. How you doing? Well, yeah, it is afternoon now. Yeah. And what I say, I go, Mage, M-A-G-E, morning, afternoon, good evening. See, that way, Willie, if we're ever talking to somebody that's like on the other side of the world and you don't know exactly what time it is for them, you just say, Mage to all, where every day is a magical day. And then they say, what the hell are you talking about? And then you just say, morning, afternoon, good evening. Take the first letter of the last 4 words I just said. This is how us Canadians, we're clever. We're very, very clever. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway. So this faction must be, like, at the other end of that or something. What's this? Galactic Lala Clan. What's this one? This is the nowhere. This is the nowhere gates. Just trying Just trying to go to every single faction in the game. I should post the seed for this so that anybody else wants to start on the other side of the galaxy, we could just, you know, map it out and see, and I'll show you the mod that you use for it, and you can tell me where the faction is. I'm gonna have some fun, because what I'll do is I'll immediately ally with them and then go enemies with everybody else, and we'll use that faction. We'll take over the galaxy. Yeah. Space battles. Na, 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 na. Look at the letter T for Yorkshire tea. I am free of Yorkshire tea. Heresy, I say. See, nothing out here. Where is everybody? Gotta be over here then, right? Oh, wait. This ship is actually pretty nasty for fighting now that I put weapons on the top of the ship. So now when guys try to fly by me, I just aim at them and shoot, and it'll just ding. Gotcha. Tagged and bagged. Yeah. Bump, 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 bump. Yeah, a little more energetic. Had a good sleep. A little extra comfy here. Just kind of lay back. Oh yeah. Whoa. Feels good in the back. I'm gonna get a little heating pad or something I can put back there. You gotta be careful of that stuff too, because you don't want to overheat your back. You gotta kind of go hot and cold and hot and cold, and it kind of. Let's see. Our equipment docks in here. No. No. Oh, and for people that want to see, I will launch my fighters just for the heck of it. Let's see if any come close to me, and I see there they are, TIE fighters. That's so cool. They're all buzzing around me, defending me. There they are. Yep. See, there goes one, right in front of my face there. That's just so cool. We knew, okay, you know what? I'm gonna recall these guys. Alright, come on in, boys. Get back in there. I like where they launch too, right at the front there. Gets them right up at the front of the action. It's like, what do you call that? Where you put cannon fodder, yeah, out in front of you. Somebody not in yet? There he is. There's a slowpoke. Get in here. Okay. So now, ship menu. There we are. Turn on there. So the first two will take 11 minutes, and then it's 5 minutes after that. I'll just keep adding squads until I run out. Let's see here. I guess it's in the build thing that I see that. Where is it? Hangar space. So that's telling me how much hangar space I've used. So those two squads have used that much space. That's cool. Oh, 15 squads. Dun, 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 dun. Not messing around. You know, I was watching a guy play a pinball, like not pinball, snooker game last night. Boy, was it ever cool to watch that. I don't know. Some games, you know, are more, you can get more into watching sometimes, right? It's just, you know, because every game is different, right? You know, it's sort of visually there's something new to see all the time, right? I'm gonna set the headphones down for a minute while I do this. It's because the cord for this is long and reaching, and it's, I don't know, the cord on this is kind of eh. Microphone, stop acting up. Anyway, one thing that I'll be once I do figure out whether this particular mod works or not, I'll be doing a complete start in insane mode from scratch, okay, in a new galaxy, right? And just start building up, and just to show people how hard and bad, that this game can be. Because in that level, you're really not that tough, and some of the weapons you get, it'll be a while before you get anywhere. But just to show you what it's like. you're asking what I did just there, it's a gyroscope that prevents that tipping up and down, right? Forward, they call it a pitch. That's up and down, and you can rotate that the other way so that you don't flip sideways as much either. Okay, we'll check the chat. Just jump. Yeah, there's like these faction mods you can add to the game, and then like when I jump into a star system, all those those fancy ships that were Star Wars or Star Trek like, you could put those into like a package, and they will make the system look like a Star Wars thing, right? And then you'll have a whole little faction based on that. And basically, nobody knows if this works. So I'm just jumping around. That's why I'm in this creative mode, and I'm doing this as fast as I can to jump around. And like, what I've been at this for 3 days now, and I've got like what, maybe 25% of the galaxy done. This could take a while. So make sure you guys check each other out and have a little discussion with each other, and all that stuff. Yeah, you know what I'll do, lady? I'll when the stream's over with, I'll post another YouTuber's video that helps you get started on what you can do and not do, and that kind of thing, because I haven't done that, right, with the game really, right? I haven't done a video on me starting out. Like I did, I think one day, but I didn't really go with it. I wanted to have fun with it, right? And what I suggest to do in the meantime, like if you wanted to go play right now, start the game up, and when there's a little checkbox that says creative, and then you don't need money or materials, and then you can go into the workshop. Okay, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Let me get the microphone on here. I'll sit down. So if you just want to hop into the game and have a little fun right off the hop, okay, when you start the game, here, well, I'll go and hop out of here, right? And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, and it'll just sort of save the galaxy. Yay! Hopefully I don't get attacked when that happens, but anyway. So then you go into single player, right? Now I've got this one here saved up, right? But if I created a new one, right? You go like that, give it a name, put anything you want in here, and then you check this little thing called creative mode. And you'll probably want to take collision off, right? And you can probably start with beginner difficulty because you're brand new. And there's some little tips that, you know, will help you out. And when you do that, you know, you don't need money or whatever. Like, I'll show you. When I load this game up, right, you'll see what I'm talking about on the upper left here. It'll all be blanked out. I don't need money. I don't need minerals. And then what you can do is you go to the Steam Workshop, and you can just download some ships, okay? Well, like I'll walk you through that too. So you go to the Steam Workshop, you pick out the ships you like, you subscribe, and then I'll show you what you can do, all right? Just sort of, like it is, it's a fun game to just muck around with, man, and you know, I'm enjoying it. I've put over 1,000 hours now into this thing for 20 bucks. You know? And he keeps improving it too. So they're really going at the fixes and stuff on this. We're just suddenly seeing a whole flood of them, so which is good. Let this load up first. It does take a while to load things though. Just be advised for that. Okay, so now I'm in here, right? So what you do is, okay, you'll start out with this little guy that's like a little miner guy, right? So you hold down on the left shift button, and then your mouse appears, right? Like up here, and then you can go exit into drone. In this case, it would say found ship. So you would click that, give the ship a name, right? And then you hit the B button, okay? So when I hit B, I come into here, and this is obviously a ship. But if I wanted to change this, I go to Save Designs, right? And there'll be a thing here called Workshop Designs. So the ones that you went and checked out on the Steam Workshop that you subscribed to will be in here, right? So you can then just pick a ship, and then once it's in there, you won't have the crew for it, okay? Just hit B again, right? And then you hit the left shift key again, and this little one here called Ship Menu, you click this, and this is something they added, okay? You can go over here to the Creative Mode Command Center, right, to get your crew, okay? And then you just hit this button, and it'll fill up all your crew. And then I suggest, you know, there are some missions to do. I don't know if any of them are still, like there was one for multiple ships. That one was a bit bugged. I haven't tried it again. I'm pretty sure it's been fixed now. They've been fixing other missions too, so, you know, that's a good start. And then at least you'll get the hang of, you know, having a ship, having all the crew, and these things called equipment docks that I've been trying to hunt around for, right, are where you find these things. So again, you hit the left shift key, that brings up the mouse. You would go into here, and these are your ship mods, okay? This one here will give me, like I've got a mod that gives me 4 times as many turrets, okay? So I can basically really cheat. But I would have a fourth of this, so it would be something like 9 or 10 or 12 or something like that, right, here instead. And you'll probably start out way down at the bottom here with a lot of these, and you find a research lab, okay? You put 5 of those into the little box that would it'd be like 5 of these, but in a little spot like here, and then you hit research, and it will upgrade to the next class up, and you go up and up and up and up and up and up and up, right? And that's just a start to you know, getting into your ship and getting used to the mechanics of combat and stuff like that. And so you can trip around and see what the galaxy's like and have some little battles and stuff like that. Now, if you want to out and out mine, then, you know, you go back and there was a video I had where you start off doing the mining and you got to go and you got to get iron and lots of it, and then you sell the iron, and then you can, you know, and the other thing is, like, when I go in here, you see all up here, no credits, no minerals, and I don't have to worry about paying my crew either, right? It's like the crew payment is massive here. And the thing is, I'll put a link to a video or a playthrough where a guy kind of shows you the kinds of things you need to know, because in order to have that kind of money, you're going to need to have like an income coming in. You're going to have to be doing things, and you have to be doing them a lot, right? And that's where it gets tricky, right? You know, like if you just sit around doing what I'm doing, messing around, you would have been broke, right? Your crew would have just abandoned you, and you'd be back to square one again. So that's why I like doing this, and I don't have to worry about all that stuff too, right? Plus, I'm just trying to hunt and see if this mod actually even works, right? Like, let's see here. What is that? Distress signal? We're going to go over and do the distress signal. Yeah, like it is a pretty good game considering the cost, like, you know, and anybody can do the building, like, you know. That's the thing. You can make your own thing, right? And that's part of the, as you get to learn how the blocks work and the different types of blocks do different things, and like I could go in here and explain that. Hold on. Like when you start out, you're not in the Avorion area. You're limited to this iron stuff here. So there's only so many things you can do. You're going to have an engine, right, which will go at the back of your ship or the sides, right? If you want to get into, you won't probably start with a cargo bay, but you are going to need some crew quarters to put crew in. So as you're building your little ship with the blocks, and you'll need thrusters. You put the thrusters, you try to put them at either the front or at the sides, okay? Right? And try to stay away from the middle of the ship, you know? Because think about thrusters, how they would work, right? If one of them at the front goes, it's more effective if it's at the front than at the side. However, you can put them at the side, and that would give you the ability to hit the A or D key and move left or right, like strafing, right? And that would also go the same for having some on the top. You could go up and down, and it's actually a pretty nifty little thing. I don't really use directional thrusters because they're only one way. Sometimes when I put a thruster down, I'll have two sides of a thruster on it. You see, that's kind of handy. Gyro arrays, what they do is, you'll see over here, there's a thing called Yaw, Pitch, and Roll, okay? What this does is it helps with your roll, okay? So like when I swing hard to the right or left or down or up, it starts a roll, right? And the more gyro arrays you have, the less your ship flips, right? You want your ship to be as level as possible as it does things, right? And that's what that does. The inertial dampener, okay, is like a braking system, right? It just, when you take your finger off the, the forward or thrust boost thing, that will like slow you down more. It's like a deceleration. Like right now, this is a pretty good deceleration, and that's crazy for acceleration. You usually won't get that high. Don't really use those unless, you know, you're wanting something fancy looking. Doesn't have a hangar for this thing. You could set up a docking system if you had a really big ship. This stuff. Now, if you wanted to build fighter bays and stuff and torpedoes, that's what this is for. It's like a little miniature factory. If you want to have a torpedo launcher, okay, that launches the torpedoes that this thing manufactures, you got to build this, right? And then you're also going to need torpedo storage. Like, this will make the torpedoes, but then you're going to need the storage for them. I'm not really into the turrets because I can't figure out how that works yet. And you don't have a shield generator for this type of material, and this is why I say you start out with technology you don't have, right? You won't get any of this stuff, right, until you're up to titanium and higher. Some of it not even then. You won't see shields until you see neonite. I think that's how it's called. And so the only way you're going to get a boost out of power is trying to hunt for some titanium, which is a white colored rock. Okay? And then you get this titanium generator. If you're lucky in the system you're in, you'll find some, or you may have to hunt around a bit. In the meantime, you kind of have to use these stupid things, which go on the tops and outsides of your ship, which what I do is I go around in the basic thing until I have enough titanium that I can build some of this stuff, right? So the other thing that this gives you is an integrity field generator, and that surrounds a bunch of blocks, and what happens is it combines all their hit points into like one unit, and you have to destroy all of them before all of the blocks go, instead of not having that and then one block losing all its hit points and then going poof, right? It's kind of a good thing. Here's where you start to see the shields, and you even get a hyperspace core, which will allow you to jump around further, but it adds time to your hyperspace jump. That's why you've seen me doing this over here. See these ones here? Where is it? Yeah, hyperspace cooldown minus 20%. That's why I want those, right? What I don't want is, where is it? This one, where it doesn't have a hyperspace cooldown, right? Mind you, it has a longer jump range, but anyway. And you combine these, and the lowest you're going to get down to is about 5 seconds. I can't believe I got 4 of them on there. That's crazy. But anyway. So yeah, you got that block. Back up here. Back to iron, you silly thing. And once you're down into neonite, like I say, you get these things. And then you go down to the next thing, which is trinium, which is one of the best. This is what you'll use for the outsides of your ships, for armor and stuff. There's like a trinium armor you can put on here, and it's really cool. And it looks neat. That's the color of the outside of this ship, right? So you go like this, and these are the different types of block shapes, right? And you've seen me doing a little bit of building here and there, not too much. It's kind of a process of, learning. And building is one of the things that's a little bit harder to learn, because you have things like this here, the grid size. You got scaling steps. That's how to make the blocks big or small or whatever like that. And then you got mirroring. So if you do something on the left side, it automatically does it on the right side, so that it scales properly. And then, when you go to do something later, it's not messing up the stuff. You don't see me do that too much with these ships, because these ones are already done that way, and then I just come along and modify them and make them a little more playable, right? What I should be doing is making a giant pack of this stuff that I've modified over time, and then upload them and saying, this is so-and-so's ship, it's modified to be more playable, alright? Now, mind you, it wouldn't have all the weaponry I have on it, but it has all the mods to system stuff, and then I would say, this is the types of systems I had in it, plunk, right? Let's see here, what else here? Oh, and another thing is, when you're building your ship, when you're starting out, if you put 3 blocks the same, right, go over here to this thing, select all 3 of the blocks, and then hit the merge. It will convert them into one block. That will save you lag, okay? Right now, this thing is at 5,371 blocks. Once you get past 30,000, the game starts going, I haven't had that problem, because I got 16 gigabytes of RAM, but anybody with less RAM is going to have some issues. Okay? In fact, that's one of the reasons why this 8-year-old computer keeps on chugging. Alright? I've gone through a CPU on this thing, that's it, in 8 years. Right? That's all. That's it. I brought a CPU. And after that, not having the problems. But anyway, now if you wanted to modify this entire ship, you take a danger there that certain blocks, if it's an early type made ship, that certain blocks won't be there when they get bigger, and so you'll be missing sections of your ship and you have to go and rebuild it. So that's another one. And whenever you're out and about and you get damaged, you can always go in here if you've got enough maintenance guys and stuff, and you can go in here and repair your ship. This one's already, you know, whatever. How do you put your weapons on? Well, you would click here, you click on a weapon, and then you would go over here like this, and you set the weapon down, right? And it will then want to have enough gunners or miners or whatever is in there. I don't have any miners. I'm not doing any mining at the moment. Let's see. Oh, yeah. It's like I say, man. There's a lot to learn in the game, but it's kind of in a fun way, right? Because the thing I enjoy about it was you're building something, and if you do if you do something right, you get rewarded. If you do it wrong, you get punished rather severe. It's kind of like, you know, whoa, okay, I'm not doing that again, you know, and then you learn, right? It is. It's kind of punishing that way. It depends on the difficulty level, right? I don't suggest ever starting out the very first time you play an insane level. There was another guy that used to show up here and he was bitching at me because I wasn't playing an insane level. Well, why would I do that when I'm testing mods and testing ships and wanting to build on them? Why would I want to do that where I have to constantly be jumping to another system because 5 ships that can tune the shit out of me will hop in there and then I can't fight them off, right? You know, and plus it's not as fun for the viewers to see me get my ass kicked every 5 minutes, right? Because in effect, if you go looking for, you know, if you just hop in, you know, in an insane level, and just try and start jumping right to the middle of the galaxy, you're gonna get wrecked. You're gonna get completely wrecked. So spend some time in the iron area for a day or two. Get used to things, but get a half decent little ship, and then what I suggest is you kind of jump into the titanium area, build up a bit better, you know, put some extra weapons on, you know, just kind of slowly ease into it, and then do a quick little run into the neonite area, get some, and then run right back to titanium area, right, which is like towards the outside of the map there, and then put some shields on, and then continue, right? Just keep building up because, you know, I got infinite money and materials here. You know, that doesn't wash that way in reality for the regular non-creative game. It does look kind of neat though the way that's done. Geez, he actually used solar panels on that. I've never seen anyone use solar panels, but at least it kind of fits in a sense. It's weird. Anyway, so back to hunting to thing there. I hope that kind of at least helps you out, and that's what I'll do. Yeah, like I'm not doing a serious game. Well, in a way I am, because I'm taking ships that I would use in the real game with a multiplayer game and fixing them up so that my version of the ship, if I get to a point where I have enough materials to buy it, right, I can then just import the ship right into the game and then put some mods on it and go. You see what I'm doing here? This is what and in fact, this is what a lot of people do. They go into creative, they fix stuff up, right? They save it, they go into their multiplayer game, and then they build up their character until they got enough stuff, and then they go get that ship. You know, I actually pissed a few people off because I wanted to see how big a ship I could make, right? You know, and trust me, don't do that. People get angry because you'll cause lag. There's a really big Death Star in the workshop. You'll know when you click on it, and it takes like 5 minutes to load the little screen where it spins around, and you can have like over 1 million crew or some shit. I loaded it one time in here, and I think I managed to handle 28 minutes of a live stream. I said, "Ah, screw this shit. I'm done." But yeah, this is what I mean. This game, it's just, you know, you've got Star Trek, you got Babylon 5, you got it's even got Space 1999 somewhere in there. I saw that. You've got the different types of Star Wars, different eras. You've got the EVE Online ships are in here. You've got every sci-fi ship just about is represented in the game. So that's kind of a whoa. If you're into sci-fi and you like messing around with stuff, this is the thing, right? And this ship, this reminds me of playing Star Wars Online, and this is like the ship that the guy gets, right, or girl, whatever, uh, when you were tripping around. Except this one's bigger. This is much bigger. Okay, this is like about five times bigger than the ship that he gets, right? Maybe even bigger than that. It's like just below Star Destroyer kind of thing, right? This is like a cruiser. It's like a big cruiser, right? Like it's huge. Where's the stats on this? Like it's 1,685 meters long, 1,000 feet height, and that's mainly because of this silly thing, and 400 meters wide. So that's like, that's big. That's big, right? And the thing is, I can have, where is that little thing? I can have 165, and that's the other thing that I liked about this. See, you guys haven't. Here, I'll bring them out, and I'll let them just buzz around here for a minute, so you can see the little TIE fighters going around. Let me get out of this for a second. Okay. See them coming out the front of the ship? Those are the style of Darth Vader's little TIE fighter. And you'll see them if one of them flies by in the front, how they look. They actually are in the, you know, that's them in actual size. There goes one there. See up there by the, you know. So right now I got about 20 guys flying around defending me, right? It's like so this is like a carrier ship, right? And these guys will defend you. They'll attack things, and I put cannons on the front of them, eh? So they're pretty dangerous. And you can give them commands. And see, if you mouse over where they are, that's where the first squad is. That's the second squad, right? So then you mouse over this. Whoops. Wait a minute. You click on them. That's right. And you can tell them to attack something, defend you. You can tell them to collect lost fighters, right? So they'll go out and they'll, I'm not sure what that does. I'm not sure what it does. But anyway, you go like this, and they'll all go in the front of the ship. There we go. That's just that one squad, right? And if you're playing co-op, you could give that squad command to someone else, right? So if I have 10 squads, I could have 10 players, like human players, controlling those squads. And then you could have another guy controlling the energy in your ship, have another guy controlling the steering of the ship, and then you can have 10 different weapon groups where 10 different people. So you could have 30 people controlling one ship. That's insanity right there. And then you have multiplayer. You could have two ships where there's like 60. I don't know. The most I've ever seen in playing this game online at the same time was 55 people. Like, you got to remember, I can have. See, I originally thought you're only allowed to have 10 ships like this. There was a discussion on the forum where it's actually unlimited. You can actually have. There was one guy saying that you could do it so you have 30 ships. So you imagine, if I had enough of a powerful PC, right, I could put 30 Star Destroyers in a scene here and just have them follow me. The thing is, unlike the movies, space is three-dimensional, right? And I found this, it looked really funny. I was doing it with the Star Trek. One of the ships was upside down, right? And he was just following me, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It just looks really weird. You know, we're not used to seeing that because, well, why would they have to? Why would they always flip the right way? You know, it just, they don't have to. I mean, just to communicate, you don't have to flip the right side up, do you? But our brains don't think that way. We think linear, left and right, and flat because we grew up on Earth, not in space, right? But anyway, that's just sort of a caveat of one of the things I thought was kind of interesting to see. I guess I should have these guys get in here, eh? Yeah, get in here. There we go. Let them all get in there. They look like little tadpoles. Look like little sperms going along there. Oh no. Oh no. Get in there quick. Yeah, there he goes. See, it used to also be that you could move your camera up to the middle of your ship, and then I could see these guys better, right? As they buzz around my ship too, right? But he took that option out, and I don't know why. It's go into game options, right? And you scroll down here at the bottom. See, you got up and down. You got two up and downs, and a right and left, right? I don't understand that. And I took camera shake off. I just don't feel like that. And I don't want not seeing damage numbers flying around everywhere either. Oh yeah, there you got two right and lefts, right, and two up and downs, but no forward and back. He used to have this one line in there was forward and back, which, you know, for a really big ship like I could not even. I was so far back at the back of the ship with the Superstar Destroyer, I couldn't even hear my weapons firing. It was crazy. The ship is so big that some weapons you cannot put in the middle or back of the ship and expect them to hit anything in front of it because they don't have the range. The ship was that big. It was like 4 kilometers long. Some weapons are barely able to even reach 3.5. I was like, wow. Anyway. Yeah, like I will put a link in the. Oh, here we go. Here, let me just. There. My automatic weapons will take care of that guy on the left while I do this guy, and then this guy. See how they didn't hit me with any torpedoes? That's because I put auto weapons down. There we go, gotcha. Gotcha. Come on, you. Hit him. There we go. Where'd the other guy go now? Behind me, of course. See that roll? See, that's the kind of thing you don't want. That's why I put the weapons where I did there, and I'll show you why I put why and where I put weapons. Okay. I put a bunch of weapons on the top here, so that if something comes up at above or to the sides, these things are turrets. They can turn, and where your crosshairs are, they'll at least try and hit, right? Like, so that there's an arc I got covered, and there's an arc I got covered, and of course you got major firepower here. And I put a bunch of these lightning guns. Where are they? Is it these lightning guns? Yeah, these are the lightning guns. So these lightning guns are able to strike things almost anywhere. And then you got pulse cannons here that will hit and go through shields. See, 78% chance. And then you got some big guns here, right? These things. If you ever get in front of me and you slow down, it's over. That's serious pain right there. Let's see. So, defensive wise, okay, and I could probably do with a bit more, but I put a point defense there, a point defense there. I put one there, and one there. I put another one there and another one there over here. This just covers the top. Now, if I was smart, I would put a couple at the bottom here too for those ships that go below me. And what I do is I set those in defensive mode. I'll show you here. Okay. Hit that left shift key again. You go over this thing here, and you click this little thing here, and there's this thing called defense, fighters and torpedoes. So if they fire a torpedo at me and I'm not really going like, you know, in a zigzag line, as long as I'm going straight forward and doing very little in the way of turning, they'll hit it. They'll hit those torpedoes. You can do auto fire, which it'll just attack anything that comes within range, which is dangerous because if one of your buddies gets in between you and that target, you could hit that target. I don't know what situational is, and then you got control by flare. So I usually leave them on defensive just because, you know, if they see fighters or whatever. And then if they don't see fighters or torpedoes and a ship comes into view and there's no fighters or torpedoes, it will attack the ship too. That's why you saw it shooting at that one guy to the left of me there while I'm firing forward, eh? And that's that as far as that goes. Anyway, we were doing a little another distress call. We'll go over here and save this guy maybe. It's a little bit of Action Jackson here. I really should do this just offline because it's less fun. It's more fun for me to be jumping around doing some battles or you know, doing some building. Oh, here we go. Ooh, gotta get over there. Come on. Holy jeez, I went so fast. I went right over him. Come on, stop. Game has... See, the game just lagged me right out of there. And I took damage. Well, that's a first. Oh. You gotta move or you're gonna die. I told you. See what I mean about those lightning blasts? That's why I do that. And then these little things here, you go over those and you pick those up. That's like how you get loot. And another thing you can do is put some what's called salvage lasers on there. And this ship that you see that's a derelict, you go over and use the salvage lasers on it, and you'll get not only the material that ship's made, but you might get a few of these little mods too. And sometimes you get some really nice ones that you know, you can't even make them, okay? The best you can make in the game is an exceptional, right? And then you'd have to make 5 of them and then upgrade them, right? So I just fly around. Sometimes I just like getting rid of these guys like this. Watch. Ready? Fire! Whee! And I would say be careful when you're going through stuff like that. If you got any collision on, it's going to hurt. And then when you get damaged like I got there, because I guess somehow I got lag and got hit by a torpedo maybe. I don't know. So we go press the B button after about 30 seconds. And it's telling me one little block got hit, basically. My mechanics were able to fix it. Cost me 10 credits. Woo. And I'll go over and pick up some more loot. And usually you get a reward from the people that you help too. bunch of exceptionals, I see, eh? There we go. Picked up everything. Oh, almost. Just a couple things left. Dip down, pick him up, give him a tap on the head, and keep going. Whoops. What am I hitting? Shouldn't have been anything there. Space debris, Captain. So, if I do determine, or am able to determine that this faction mod works, I'll let everybody know. It's just going to be... Like, I'll show you how much of the galaxy in 3 days I've gone through. And this is basically cheating. You know, you're using unlimited money and resources, right? So I'm able to build up. This is to get a ship like this, you probably be at least a month. At least. And that's saying you know you're well on your way and knowing what you're doing. Yeah. This is how much of the galaxy I have checked out. I went all the way over here, and with a different ship, I got my ass kicked, and all the way through here, and I really got it kicked there. I almost got killed. And decided, well, screw this, I'm going back up here, and I just went wee, and then I just started doing. So what I've done is I'm using equipment docks to get this thing called oh geez, did I not do the last one? Maybe not. Okay, I did. And you'll get this, you can buy these maps for the whole faction. So I go around, I find an equipment dock, I buy that because it doesn't cost me anything because I got unlimited money, and then I can map out the whole faction, right? And then I know where to go for the next one, so then I can see, you know, I'm not pissing around going to every single little stupid dot. Just kind of maximizing this to see what I can do. The thing is, the save file for this game is now up to 600 megabytes in size. I'm curious how big that's going to get and how that would it sounds to me like quite a bit of information is getting saved locally on the client side. I'm hoping that isn't too much. 600 meg doesn't sound like too much, but for a text file, I don't even want to open that up to see what the hell's in it. You know what I mean? Like that would blow up whatever software I'm trying to do that with. I think I might get away with it in Linux, but I don't know. Yeah, like a lot of people are returning to this game now, eh? And because they fixed a lot of the stuff that was some of the problems. And I'll say this, okay? All the lag that I was having there a little while ago was my own fault. And it was because I had improper settings on OBS for the bit rate to be doing 720p. I had it too high, and what was happening was I was sending too much data at YouTube, and YouTube was trying to take it and drop some and then sort it so you guys could get a video, right? And I went too low yesterday, and it kind of went, not getting enough. So I put it up a little bit more, and I think I'm in more of a sweet spot again. Anyway, so we'll just keep right on jumping here. But yeah, if you ever get into a multiplayer server, let me know which one you're on, and I'll go over there and join up that one too. And then you'll have somebody maybe to help you out and play with. And I got a Discord. Then I could take you into Discord and talk to you, and it's a little easier to say okay. And in Discord, I could do little screenshots, you know, and show you little things, because there's always little tricks and tips that some guys forget to like let people know. And even when I'm watching their video, it just, you know, I know it, and I just it just goes by me, right? You know, or it's something new, right? Like there's a lot of the tutorials that are out there that, well, they might not be as relevant as they were, because I'm not kidding you. Every day this week for the last week, this guy has done an update. And if you look at the change log that I have in the description there, it's like that every day. Every day. Except I think yesterday there was no update, or on the weekend. But like, you know, they're trying to get their game ready for an actual, you know, release, right? On the 9th. So this, you know, and in fairness, I was, you know, I'm the kind of guy that's, you know, when I'm critical of you, I tell you how it is. I don't mince words, and I'm not going to be, you know, I'm saying it because I like your game, not because I'm an asshole, right? So I get sometimes my wording maybe comes across as a bit aggressive, right? So I've been a bit critical of certain things, and he's fixed every single one of them. I mean, I can't blame anybody for anything of that, you know? Like, that's good. And it's almost like he's watching all the streams of people doing this, because even some things that I thought, you know, this is probably in my own head, I was thinking this is a problem, but maybe you know, it's not that big a deal. I could live with it, you know, in my head. He went and fixed something like that too the other day. And I was like, that's just, yeah. And like in this creative mode, it's good to have this little command thing right over here, right? Because you can test out stuff. This is how you can really test stuff out. You can build weapons over here, right? You put some cargo bays on stuff, and you go over to a turret factory, and you say build turret, and you make the turret you want, right? And whatever, and it'll tell you what you need out of this, right? And at first I was thinking, how am I going to find anything in this mess here? Well, so everything with an A is up to here. It took me a little while to see these letters in here, right? You should make these colored or something, right? I'll suggest that, just that would be a quality of life thing, right? So that you notice it, right? Because I didn't notice it. I was having a hard time building any turrets and going, well, where is this, right? Where's that modulator, laser modulator? And I'm like, where? No, not over here. Oh, wait, there it is. You know what I mean? It took me an hour to build a weapon, and then I realized this shit. And then you got fighters, the different types of fighters, and, you know, all these little things, right? And the other thing that makes it easy is now you can increase the alliances, and then you ally with them, and that's when you can get that faction map, and you can do things like this to test out whether a faction mod actually works. Because what happens if, you know, I get through the game and I go through every bit of space where there could be a faction, and none of the 4 of them I have as a mod work. What if they don't work? Then, you know, you got to fix something, right? Like, nobody knows if it works. So the other thing is, I could put the seed of this galaxy and give it to you, and it would come out the same. So when I click on the map here, all of these areas will be the same. What's in them might be different, I think. I think that's how that works. It procedurally, but it would still have the mapping system, I think. I could be wrong there too. It could come out the same way, as long as the seed is the same. I think you get the same, you know, but the odds are you can change that seed to anything, right? That's just the way that, like, you know, like, look at all this area. I got all this area here to map out for factions, right? All the way up and around here. Once I get all that done, right, that's just a little corner. That's like 4 hundredths. No, wait a minute. 10 by 10. Yeah. That's 16. That would be, so if I do all the way to here, right, and then I go down to here and map it all out, that'd be 1/4. That's 25% if I go there, right? Or is it? No, wait a minute. This would be 25%. 5 by 5. Yeah. So if I go to there and do all this. of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. I'll pop back in the chat here for a minute. What's that? Let me see here. What's it? Yeah. Oh, you should see when if you want to see Lady Celtic, if you want to see something really trippy, go to Steam and on the upper left, go to Steam and take it into offline mode, and then start a single player creative game and then do a jump. Instead of hearing that little pop, you can hear pop, 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 pop. It just goes crazy for like about 10 seconds. It's like fireworks and explosions, and you're like, "Whoa, this is cool!" And you're like, "Wait a minute. I think it just bugged out a bit here because it wants to be online." I know, eh? It does. If it lags a bit right when it does that, you'll hear 2 pops. It's only supposed to do that once, right? It's like pop, 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 right? That's when you know there's a little tiny lag, right? And it used to be when you went into that, that was something that used to cause a crash sometimes, the odd time, right? And there was that's that little comment he makes about taking the space bar out. Everybody's done that. You know, or take that stuff out. You know, there's some things. Hey Stevie, how's it going, man? Now I was watching what's his name, Doc, playing that snooker game. I think I fell asleep at one point. I know I was watching it for about 3 hours, and then suddenly I guess I woke up and I was somewhere else on YouTube. Some guy talking about dinosaurs or some shit. Some monster creatures or some shit. I don't know. What the hell? So, that's what I mean, eh? You'd be guaranteed to be somewhere new in YouTube every morning, eh? So yeah, I'm trying to find this, see, watch. It does, it looks like you're being blown right to smithereens, disintegrated, right? But if you watch, you can see the outline of my ship. That never used to happen either. It was just a flash of light before, right? Now it's like an outline. And I don't know what that little thing is on the upper left there. It looked like a gas meter or something, eh? It's like, nuclear fuel is almost over. Better go collect some. I don't know. And the only way to get rid of that one yellow thing in the middle there is go to a certain station and buy a token or something. Like, ugh! I wish it would stop flashing at me though. Okay. Woo! This big universe, man. I should give this guy the seed of the game I'm playing and say, listen, why don't you start in the lower left hand bottom part? I'll start in the upper right hand and do the top of the map. You do the bottom half, and we'll see if your mod works. Because if it doesn't work, there's going to be a lot of pissed off people that it doesn't work. So we need to know if it works, because then you can fix your mod, or the game developers can actually fix the code. Because this is one thing that will sell this game. Right? Like if I can add 10 factions into the game and stop the regular ones from popping and just have different names and have different ones that I want pop up, then it becomes cool, right? You could just do every single Star Wars or Star Trek race and have ships for them and everything else. And you could do the same thing for Star Wars and every blah, 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 blah. And then you'd have enough factions in a universe or a galaxy to play forever, right? Although I gotta say, Star Wars fits better, as does Babylon 5, because you have hyperspace, right? Rather than warping. Although it's kind of similar the way a Star Trek ship warps. At least the way it looks from when you see the ship take off, anyway. Where am I going here? Oh, yay. This is crazy. I think I'll go to this one. This is big. I should load in that giant one. I did it a couple streams ago, and I only lasted about 28 minutes before the lag just killed my mind. This guy made a super star destroyer that's so huge, it's insane. You could have 1.2 million crew on it. I was like, oh, I gotta try this, man. And you can't go left and right. It's like a ship that only goes straight forward. It's like, oh my god. I would have to spend a week fixing that ship. Just so that you could turn it inside of a day. And the problem is, the game doesn't allow you to put more weapons on it. There's a maximum number, eh? I think it's like 15 mod slots or something. What is it? Hold on here. Where are we at here? Yeah, so there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think it's 15 is the maximum. Or maybe it's 14. I don't know. Can't remember. Yeah, I think there's 15 is the maximum. And like, how close am I to getting this? So 141, and I need what? So I need 7,000 processing power. You know how you do that? Let me show you. Dun, 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 dun. Why, I'm gonna put a giant computer core under here. Yeah, yeah. $142. Let's see here if I can pull this off. Oh, that'd be cool. You gotta get up above it and then do this. See, now it does, and it doesn't look bad on the ship either. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole point of when you do some stuff like this. I can color it. I can put it back gray. How close am I? 144, eh? $145. My deceleration's dropping though. Should be putting some. I know what I'm gonna do once I get this sorted. Hold on. Allow me to put some engines on here. Yeah, baby. More speed. More power. That's my Emperor sound. Have we got it? 148? Let me see. It went away. It disappeared. So I guess I've already reached the max. Well, that's not fair. So 5, 10, 15. Wait a minute. I only had 14 before. Oh, isn't that interesting? All right, where's the one in here that shouldn't be there? So it's this one. It automatically put that in there for me. Ah, cool. So I got more weapons to put on my ship. Let's see here. I gotta do this. I'm gonna do it again. There we go. So I could fill that right in there and make it real fast. What's my maximum velocity? It's up a bit. Okay. That deceleration's dropped though. So I just keep mucking around at the bottom here. But that's an example of you building. And how I got a block to go long like that, if there's a block that's like 3 or 4 and you merge them and you mouse over it, you'll see that it only is the small block to begin with, right? If you hit the control key, it will size itself to be the same as the block underneath it, right? That's why I was aiming at the block underneath when I went above there. It just makes it so you're quick at building. You can match a shape that way. There's a whole bunch of neat little like videos on the forum. There was one there on how to make a circle. It's complicated. It's making lots of little triangle things that make it simulate what looks like a circle. And you know, that's the good thing is that most of the stuff you need to build with that's kind of complicated has already been done by some people. So you can actually just go into the workshop and take all these little parts, and then you can just start putting them all together. And then if you need to make something extra, you can do that, and then you're not taking as long to do your building, right? You can do some funky stuff. I like taking pieces of ships apart and then just rebuilding them sometimes, right? Sometimes you'll come up, if a ship got made 3 years ago when certain mechanics weren't the same, and you take it apart and rebuild it, you might actually be getting a better ship out of the end, right? So now I got more weapons here. Wait a minute here, man. How many more? Wow. Let's see here. Lots of weapons. And it's still showing me as needing crew. Why? 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 Wait a minute. Do one of these wiggle things first. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Go back in here. Okay, I've got the right number of crew. Is there something wrong here in the crew situation? What's going on here? Pilots. Hold on. Okay. There. Alright. So, let's see here in the weapon department. We got DPS. And when you mouse over something... Oh, they put it back to DPS, did they? Oh. It used to say Omicron there. They were testing that out. And I was like... Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me anyway. I know what it means, but new people might not know what damage per second means when it says Omicron, right? So it got a little confusing to some people. What's the range there? 6.7. Chain gun turret. And plasma. That doesn't have the range. And 9 range. Where's that lightning stuff? That's just beyond fun. There's one. That's Oganite though, right? Okay. I'm gonna solve this too. Let's see if I'm shooting. that and that. Now this is how many slots? 3. How many slots is this? 3. Could I put one there? No? No? Oh, but I could put one there. Must be made of ogonite or better. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, we'll get a better lightning gun. Where's the first Trinium ogonite lightning gun? Oops. There we are. There it is. This is trippy. How to do it on that side. Okay. Holy moly. Are these lightning guns? No. Are these lightning guns? No. What's number 3? 3 is the lightning guns. I still got more room. Okay. Let's see what it's like. Whoa. That's just insanity. Alright, let's go have a fight and see what they're like. Only one way to test your weapons. On someone's forehead. Yeah, this is like a neat game that, you know, and the other neat thing about this game is once you get into the game enough on someone else's server where you're playing enough, you could, and you have a couple of friends and you just wanted to have a little private, you can do that yourself, right? Now I don't recommend doing that, you know, and like advertising to just everybody that you can do it, unless you know how to run services and servers and stuff like that. I actually know how to do all that, and I wouldn't run it on any Windows machine. Well, I would, but I wouldn't do it on my own. Let's put it that way. I would go rent something and then put it out there, and then that way if something happened to it, we can just fix it, sort it, set it up, and go that way, right? Okay, nothing in here. Booey. Oh, look at that smash. Something flew off of that. Didn't it? Yep. This is why you always shoot things. Get out of the way. See, I can shoot straight up now. Ha ha! Another piece of something there. That's get out of my way movement shot. Okay, let's see here. Try another yellow dot. Another yellow dot. put some more defensive stuff underneath me, and then when somebody tries to do something. See, the other thing I'm not doing is I'm not taking stronger weapons made of better materials, just for ease, so I don't have to piss around with changing the material and getting the block size right, or the type of block right. Because if it's a slant and you do it with the wrong thing, then you're going to be in trouble. What's this? Yeah, real tough outlaw. There we go. Tagged. Ooh, loot. Oh, they brought friends. Here we go. So ends them. Nope. Until they're... Ah, torpedoes. At least until they aren't torpedoes. Okay. Oh, more of them. Yeah, right on. Big party. Over here for a minute. Some loot over here. Zap. Bang bang, you're dead. That loot, I went so fast that loot took forever to catch up to me. There we go. I'd say that's a success. Might want to put some heavier defensive weapons. Might want to go make some defensive turrets. And we'll still do a little bit more of this hunting for the Empire. Not found the Empire yet. Haven't had a smoke yet in let's see here. 2 hours. Yeah, I kind of was doing all kinds of things yesterday and the last few days about trying to get this little first-person shooter game compiled, and I was going to do that, and then something would come up, and I'd be doing something else, and I keep getting distracted at doing different things, right? And I gotta, you know, have something for the stream to, or the channel, so I put this up, and then there's some news that pops up. Come on, game, why are you not popping up now all of a sudden? Game's not working. There we go. Wouldn't load. Okay, is there an equipment dock in here? And why is my fighter thing open? Close. Close. Why is that open? Why is this open? Shut. Stupid thing. Weird game. Weird game. Let's hit some asteroids, shall we? I don't think so. I know how to drive. And I drive fast. That's how you go through an asteroid field at maximum speed, everybody. Like this. If you were to hit anything with collision at that speed, your entire ship would just disintegrate. I'm not shitting you. Just go, and you would see it. It just goes like a little shower of little pieces of things, and then you get this message saying, you know, you're dead. Go pick yourself up and your gear. You know. It's funny. Okay, next system. It can also be a very relaxing thing to just sit there and do the mining. The sound he has for the mining is just kind of, oh, it kind of drones your mind out, eh? And if you get the, and another key for the mining is look for mining devices that have independent targeting. And what you can do for mining is you set them up to auto, and when you come up to a piece that will mine, it will just automatically start mining for you, and you can just go across the room, get yourself some supper, and, you know, go to the washroom, do your laundry, you know, take your kids to school, come back, and then, you know, all the mining area in that area will be done within the reach of that range. That's what I say, right? You know, it's just one of those games where if your hand gets sore or your mouse is getting a little sore, get an independent targeting, okay? I just can't stress that enough. Like, I'll show you what they look like. We should do that because it'll save somebody from getting carpal tunnel syndrome. The build thing here. M-I-N-I-N-G. Okay, so let's see one here that's independent targeting. There. Oh, missed it. Maybe I don't have any. Oh, right there. So this one here, you put that on the front of your ship, and anything within 1.5 kilometers of you, so if you had 2 asteroids in that range, it would just mine the heck out of them. So you get a bunch of these, right? And you just mine the shit right out of things. You just sit there, it's like having an auto laser do it all for you. There's another one too. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. So we are looking for an equipment dock to buy a map. I'll map this one out, and then that'll be it for this stream, and I'll just muck around a little more here. Like that little gas thing up here at the top. This thing. What is this? Game simulation mode is. What's it saying? Okay, let me move. Game simulation mode. What is this game simulation mode? Wait a minute here. Gotta make that pop up again. I want to know what the hell that was. I create some lag or something. Maybe that's what it is. It's telling me I have lag. Is that it? Really? Where are you, you little bugger? See? You put your mouse up there, it goes away. That's funny. Oh, it's probably, you know, and this is, like I say, once, you know, I got 16 gigabytes of RAM. I wonder, I should bring up Task Manager and see how much this of a load this puts on the system, having to load this much of a map. And what I also suggest is always save your game twice, right? Like going to the main menu will do it. I think there is a save feature, is there? No, there isn't. Okay, so yeah, you can only go to the main menu, which does a save once. Used to have a save in there where you could press save and you would do it a second time. And the reason being is you want to wait till the first one's done, then do it again. That way it doesn't corrupt. But I guess maybe we're over that. Neat, there's a neat looking station. Loading. Nothing. Looks like I missed it, eh? So where is the little guy? Must be here then. Alright, no. Look at that, right in front of me is an asteroid. Yeah. There we go. See that little dun-dun? That's lag. It's only supposed to do it once. Now imagine it doing that about 50 times in offline mode only. It's kind of it's cooler though. I like it. It's going boom, 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 and you see these little explosions, right, going out, and I'm like, ooh, yeah. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, and there's a turret factory. This is where you go to build your turrets. We'll just go over there. And it's going to be an important thing for you to learn too. Oh, I better break. Whoa. A little too rambunctious here with my Speedio. Okay, we'll flip this way. I don't need no stinking tractor beam. And you go like this. Oh. Wait a minute. Yeah, get lost. Okay, first of all, you gotta be allied to them, so that's one thing. So we'll take care of this problem. Come on, you. Really? Jesus. Come on, you. There we go. There. So once you're allied, build turrets. Oh, they've changed it. What the frickin' hell is this shit? What the frickin'... I have... What is this? I don't know. Now what do I do? Tech level pack. This is all new to me. This is something they changed, and now I have no idea how to do it. Slick move, everybody. I have no idea what the fuck to do here. On top of that, it doesn't fit in the goddamn screen. I can't see what the hell this is, man. What is this? The fuck did they do this for? This is stupid. Very stupid. It used to be just names, and that was easier to figure out. Now I gotta mouse over every little stupid thing to figure out what the hell it is. Like, really? Okay, so you would click on DPS. Wait a minute. And then you have to have these items in order to do that. So you go to the maximum, and you can see on the right how the weapon's changing. For its range is now 8. Damage is up to almost 100 there. Now it's over 100, right? Now if you want independent targeting, you gotta do this twice. And see, now it's that, but it loses half damage. So at best, only use one, and that will help you aim. It's kind of a unwritten rule that they don't tell you. So what you do is, okay, you write this down. You go servos, high pressure tubes, da da da. You write it down on a piece of paper, right? All this stuff here, how many you need, okay? And you multiply it out by a 5. This is just another little tip, okay? Then what you do is you go over here. You got to make sure you have cargo space. And then you find in this stuff here, right? And you take, say there were 53. 53 times 5 is 250. 265. So you get 265 servos. So where are the servos? You go along here and you go, where are the servos? There they are. So you go, I need 265. You just start going until you have enough of them. Okay, and then you go back and you make 5 of those weapons, and then you find a research station and you put all 5 weapons in there, and it'll upgrade to a better weapon. Because this will only make an exceptional weapon. 5 of them will make 1 exotic. Okay. This is just something I picked up on doing. If you're doing creative mode and you want to have some decent, overpowered, overkilling weapons that you don't have to piss around with, you could do that. I haven't done this in this particular map yet, so. This is like in a recorded video where you cut out and you have this little thing pop up millions of years later, and then you have it done, and then you're, you know. So anyway, when you go back in there, right? Right, it's on this thing, right? So you needed 221 for that. Alright. So now 53 times 250, 265. So I need 265. Another 41 of them things. So anyway, you get the idea how to do that. So anyway, you would do that. Now, turrets that are this far at the edge, obviously the technology also plays a key role. On the further you are from the core, the less the technology. So you want to kind of go inward, right, to get better turrets, better research stations. I forgot all about that. And you'll also be able to then get better weapons and things too. That's why I don't see any lightning guns or anything beyond a bolter over there, because where am I? Yeah, I'm way over here at the edge of the map. Anyway, I think now would be a good time to take a break and call this one a day. We got 2 hours 20 minutes. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. The quest for the Empire shall continue. Dun, 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 dun. All right, everybody. Have a good one. And Lady Celtic, I hope you enjoy it, because, like I said, I enjoy this game a lot, man. It's just something I like building things. I like mucking with stuff, modifying things, and you get some good space battles, and you can have some fun with it, right? You don't have to, like, look at the size of that galaxy. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. Too huge. I wish I could make it smaller so I could find this thing to test to see if it works. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. Everyone have a good day, and make sure you stay safe. Take care, all.